Good morning. How are you all? Welcome to another live stream. Today we have a bit of progress on the Esp32 web server, API, web page, whatever you want to call it, serving up a web page. We're doing a bit on the time zones today. Let me just do a little bit of housekeeping for a second. Welcome back. Yeah, I just haven't been on for a week. Yeah, we're back again. I've been busy working on it. Let's just put a welcome message. Welcome to all. Please stop by and say hi. Stop by and say hi. That'll do. Okay. Right. So yeah, I put a couple of live streams out and don't know what happened. Something happened to the view count. It went down to 0. So I thought, well, there's nobody watching it. So anyway, so I've done a bit more work offline instead of online. Try and keep the video short. So that a bit of progress. I've got open at the minute. UPass software. Let me just shut that down a second. Let's get
Thank you for using UPass.
Get rid of that for a minute and concentrate on the web API. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. And my camera's froze, so give me a second. It got a problem with it freezing, don't know why. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. I don't know whether it's the camera or what. Anyway, let me just have a quick browse back over. Yeah, I can see it froze. I just check the audio is good. It's freezing, don't know why. Yeah, we're okay. Right, we're doing alright. Bit of housekeeping, sorry about that. Right, so anyway, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I'll leave that message up there for a little while, and hopefully it won't freeze again. Has it just froze again? No, it's me just being still. Right, anyway, right, let's get back to it. So, anyone who's not followed along at all, and they may just have spied the title of this video, live stream, we're basically working on a web page hosted off, or acting as it's a web server. Have I froze again? Yeah. Hang on, I keep freezing, don't I? This is not good. What is the matter with my camera today? Freezing. Might have to do something about that, but anyway, we carry on for a bit since we've already started. Right. Yeah, so basically, you have to bear with me on the freezing camera side of it. If that freezes, you can still hear the audio, so maybe message me to tell me I froze. I have to keep checking it. Anyway, yeah, so we've got, I don't know whether you've heard it, we've got a microcontroller with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. It's called an ESP32, right? And we're basically hosting a website off an IC. connected to local area network. It's got its yeah. We're looking at on a local network, but I've got port forwarded to it from outside world, so you can connect to it. So let's go over to it. So you can see it here. We've got the normal login. We've got the engine controls. We've got the ability to toggle on a relay, toggle it off. Impulse a relay, and that's for 2 relays. We need to add to this to switch the relay on from a timer. Okay. Now all this has already been done in firmware using the UPass main desktop software. But in order to maybe use the board to work as a standalone item, or just across a network basically, or from anywhere in the world basically, we created this web API. It's another way of interacting with it. Anyway, so in order to get that relay to toggle on, I'll tell you what, I will have to show you. I froze again, haven't I? Hang on. Don't know what's going on with that. Dodgy camera. Yeah, dodgy camera. Sorry about that. Just make sure I've still got audio. I wanted to get that relay. Yeah. Okay. So let me show you how I have been doing it. Let me just toggle that off a minute. Right. So let me bring up. Let's bring up UPass again. Run up UPass, as Christopher Barnett of Explain Computer says. Run it up. So we're going to run up UPass.
Welcome to UPass. Engine 22 is now online. Engine 23 is now online.
Let me just make this Merry Christmas sign a bit. Hang on. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Let's get this shrank down a little bit. We'll put that somewhere. We'll put that. I'll tell you what. Put that up there out of the way. There we go. So we've still got a Merry Christmas, and yeah. Okay. So we've got. This is the main desktop software. This one. Okay. Now, if we can set timers and all sorts of stuff. There's massive loads of parameters in here. But to look at a time zone, let me just. Right, so we've got a tree view menu called time zones. Now, because you can add new time zones and edit them and all sorts from the main software. I froze again. Hang on. What is going on with this? See, what you should do is, if your camera freezes, you should put a big hammer on it. You know what I mean? Smash it with an hammer. Anyway, right. So yeah, we've got this tree view of time zone. Now, each controller here, you can switch stuff on. Like I could switch that on manually there, right? Switch it off, or you can have a timer do it. Yeah. And the way this works, it creates time zones. Yeah. Now, if I click onto this time zone here, right? Let's just get that there. We'll leave that there for a minute. Now, this is the working hours time zone. Okay, there's nothing on it at the minute. It's blank. The way I froze again. Oh my god. Right, let's try it again. Deactivate. I tell you what. Should we make the resolution? Yeah, keep freezing on that. So deactivate when not showing. Resolution. I don't know how to stop it doing it. Anyway, sorry about that. Right. Damn cameras. Yeah. Anyway, excuse me. Let's have a sip of this. We're live streaming from the UK. as if we'd be live streaming from anywhere else. Hence, that's why it's dark in the room. Yeah, dark. Because don't have any sunlight. You know what I mean? Anyway. So the time zone here, I've created this web API. It's not even a web API. It's a user form for editing the time zone. Now the way this does it, you can just click in it. It'll default to giving you a 1 hour segment wherever you've clicked. You can drag this around, right, to wherever you want the start of the time to be. And you can scroll your mouse wheel to increase and decrease the size. Yeah. So let's say we want it to work from 7:45. I want it to open up until 10:15. Half an hour, right? So that's it. We've done it. Now if I want to repeat that to Tuesday, I've just got to go in here and just it'll default to the round it up to the nearest hour. You have to drag it where you want it, you see. So Friday, so basically this is going to unlock or switch the relay on between 1:45. If I click on it, it'll show you down here. It's for half an hour the duration is. Doesn't actually tell you when it's going to start from, does it? Okay, so it's 7:45 and it's for half an hour. If I click on it and scroll, obviously down here it alters the duration. So if I want to, I can also do it from here. It'll do it an hour at a time from there. Or okay, so this is the ideal way of doing the task. You know, the easiest way. Once you've set that up, you just click on save, and it'll send that to the controllers. So, I mean, we can do that now if you want. And it's going to broadcast to any controls that are online. It's going to broadcast to them. And hopefully they would have taken in the data. Let's try it again. So it broadcasts the time zone to all controllers that are capable of using. Yeah, you've got 2 bleeps back then. Right, so that's how we do it. We can have multiple time zones. You can create a new one if you want. But the one I've done, I froze again, haven't I? Oh my god, hang on. Is there a quick way of? Can I just go like that? No. Hang on. Deactivate, activate. Yeah, this is good. We're doing well today. Remind me to get rid of that camera. Anyway, so that's how we do the time zone in the desktop software. Now, obviously, the desktop software you can do everything you want to do, but we're not going to be able to implement the whole desktop software on. Let's get rid of that. So close that down. Let's close this down.
Thank you for using UPass.
Close that down, right. So we're not going to be able to implement all that software, all that 10 years of programming and development into a web API or a web page or a web server on an Esp32. Not going to be able to do that. And you wouldn't want to do it because you wouldn't want to use all your memory resources up. Don't forget that ESP32 is doing other stuff as well. That ESP32, let me just bring this camera down here. Right, this view you got here is it's dark, I know. You got a controller here and a controller there connected to you're connected to a RFID reader. So the controller's not only hosting the web page, right, or the web interface, it's also being a access control system. So you've got your fob. See, it's hosting a page. That's not on in there. So anyway, let's learn that token. So you're going into tokens. We can put the learn up mode on. Okay, so that's learnt that. So learn that. Refresh it. got 2 tokens now. That's an idea. Let's just have a look on controls, see what happens there. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, obviously the controllers not just it's not his sole job is not to host a web interface or a web server. That's only so you can get to the settings, but it's also got to perform its main function as well, which is currently updating an OLED, checking the RFID reader for any input, searching the database when it receives it. Honestly, it's hosting the web page and doing all refreshing. And not only is it doing that, when you run UPass software, main desktop software, it's also talking to this as well. So it's got a lot to do.
Welcome to UPass. Engine 22 is now online. Engine 23 is now online.
Okay, so it's also communicating, this software is communicating directly to the controllers here, as well as hosting the web page. Yeah. You can interact with it here, click stuff on. That's the wrong one, isn't it? Hang on, let's do this one. You see, so click that on and it shows you on the web page as well. And it comes up toggled on there. See that? And I can toggle it on from here. I can impulse from here. Now this is only set to refresh every 2 seconds, so that needs to be on for 2 seconds before it will show you, unless you just happen to catch it. So I'll do it now. See that? There's a delay. That's that 2 second refresh. This one's a bit more responsive. I had it doing every 250 milliseconds, but the problem is once you go across the web to do this, it introduces latency in it, and that latency is enough to upset the system if it's refreshing every 250 milliseconds. So 2 seconds is okay, it's better for it. So anyway, it's obviously doing all this, and it's updating this display. It's doing loads of stuff basically, right? So there's no way you can make the web API or the web server or the web interface do the same as all this software. Let's just get rid of that software a minute.
Thank you for using UPass.
Okay, so we'll get rid of that out of the way because that's resource hungry, that one. Right, so going back to the web interface or web server, let's get rid of this one down here. Right, we're back on this one again. So if you've been following along on the live streams, hang on, my OCD's kicking in a minute. Let me just bring that out somewhere. That's it. Wasn't central for me. So anyway, right. So this is your web API. So you start off. If we log out, you log in. You can go straight to the control screen where you can toggle stuff on, toggle it off, impulse. So it's just implementing 2 outputs at the minute. This one's not a type. On the board there's only one relay output on board, and you've got 2 outputs for another relay which you have to wire in yourself if you want the extra relay. So on here we've got to somehow enable the timer. So the works that have been going on all week without me live streaming is I know we finished the tokens off. We've basically left that as it was. Got the ability to clear the tokens now if you want to, and it will ask you. It'll ask you. This will erase all the stored tokens. Are you sure you want to proceed? I'll click cancel. But while you're testing it, I mean, when you give it to someone to test, they want to know, how do I add a token? How do I clear a token? And I froze again. Hold on a second. Caught that one just as it did it. Yeah. Freezing cameras anyway. Right. So you've got the ability to learn, put the learn mode on let's just do a live demo, shall we? Here we go. So we've got a token we've already put in, I think. No, that one's not on there. Let's find the one I just dropped off. Yeah. So I've got two tokens. The one. Hang on, let's put the bottom down camera on. Okay. Right, so you've got the two tokens. I'll go on to this one. And you can see it's lighting up the reader and the relay output, which is just there, that one. Okay. And that's because the token is in the is in here. Now I've got another one. Let's swap them over. That one there is not operating the relay because it's not in the system. So what I'll do is I'll clear all the tokens. Oh, you want to erase all? Yeah, go on in. Right, so it's cleared the tokens. Let's give you a little double bleep acknowledgement. I don't know whether you heard that. Yeah, I'll listen again. Ready? Yeah, you might have heard it, I don't know. So, but it's still showing that it's got two tokens, but I'll have to refresh the page. So refresh the page. Now it's got 0 of 1200 tokens. It'll store up to 1200 tokens. Anyway, we don't really want to talk about the timer really, but so now none of these fobs will work. These two fobs, they're not going to work. So if I put them onto it's just ignoring me now. Swap over. Next one, it's ignoring me. Yeah. So we put the learn mode on. I put the fob on. It'll store it and operate the relay at the same time. Let's learn the other one. Same again. Okay. So we've turned the learn off. You don't have to turn it off. You can leave it on. So do a refresh, and we've got the two tokens back again. And we've got the relay clicking. Yeah. So that period of that relay clicking, that's done from the main software at the minute. See egress time set from the output of the duration. Let me just quickly show you where that is. Let's run up the software again. I should just leave it running really. Right, let's run that up.
Welcome to UPass. Engine 22 is now online. Engine 23 is now online.
Right, so we go into here. Let's just stretch that up a bit. Let's hide this one down here. Right, so in here we've got our settings. So if I go on to that engine 23 is this one here. See 23, packet address 23. That's the 23 there. So it's talking to this one, and if I click the relay on, you'll see. Actually, you see that light up, but also you should see in controls it lit red. So if I turn it off, yeah, okay. So the egress time, when I swipe a fob, hang on, let me just go onto that one. So when I swipe a fob, that's your egress time, is the time it switches on for the relay. Now you can alter that if you want to. Go on to output 1. Impulse time, it's in 250 milliseconds, so it's 4 times 250 milliseconds, about a second. So I can alter that if I want. I can make it twice as long, so go 2 seconds, 8 lots of 250 milliseconds. Okay, I don't know whether it saved that then. Let's have a look. I've got this controller with the debug feature on. So which is serial output, which is slowing the whole thing down a bit. Let's try again. I thought it gave you a beep. No, didn't give a beep. Anyway, let's just try it. Let's just impulse the engine. Yeah, so it's twice as long. It's 2 seconds now. Let's go again just to make sure. Let's go to 16, which should be 4 seconds thereabout. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so you see the egress time, it's staying on. Now it's switched off. So you got 4 seconds, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And you can do that for both these fobs, yeah. Same thing. The reason I have it low is just while I'm testing it, because I don't want to wait the full. I put it on to 17 seconds. You got default value as well, 7 seconds egress. I put it on to 4. Well, that's not 7, was it? There's actually 7 lots of 250 milliseconds. Anyway, let's just bring that down to. You can make it quicker. You can put it on 1. So when I put the fob up, see how quick that was. Yeah, if you just want a pulse for an automatic control for something else that takes over. I'll put this back to 4 for now. There is a disabled input time, is impulse time as well. So you've got 2 separate times depending on in the main software you can assign a user to different types of output. Anyway, that's for another day. Right, so we've got that. So you're back onto egress of 1 second now, which is just alright for testing. Okay, so anyway, I don't know why I went off on that tangent. Yeah, so what we've been doing, we need to add the ability here to switch a timer on. I don't know whether it's going to be done from the engine control section. So basically, when you log out and you go straight into this bit. Don't know whether you need to do it from there, but we've got here a set. So just quickly going over the tokens. So that's what the tokens. You've got the ability to learn, turn them learn on, off, and clear all the tokens. Yeah. And view the last 10 tokens added or to the system. Yeah. Okay. Right. So where was I going with this? Right. So. Let's go on to time zone a minute. Here you are, time zone. Right, you've got a form you can bring up the working hours time zone, yeah. Okay. That's just, so here's your time zone. This is the one we set for working hours. Now what I've done, in the web API, obviously you can't do all what we're doing. You've got to choose what you're going to implement in that side of it. And if you want to do stuff that you can't do in the web API, you go back to the main software, obviously. Anyway, so this is your time zone. The way this works, it's you can have multiple segments in here. See that? You can have multiple segments throughout the day. Now, to implement multiple segments, I mean, I can have one there. Put another one there, another one there, another one there. Now that's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you say, what are the segments for? Well, basically, when it's the start of the segment, it'll switch something on. When it gets to the end, it'll switch something off. Yeah, and it can do that as many times. Well, actually, it can do that. You can go down to a minimum of 15-minute segments. Yeah, 15-minute segments. So I'll click on it. It shows you 15 minutes the duration is. Won't let you go down lower than 15. See, you can't go lower than 15 because it's just for storage. And in my my experience, this is the trade I'm in, access control, right? Just my full-time day job, what I do, as well as I do all this other stuff, yeah, is installing access control amongst other stuff. Anyway, so 15 minutes. You've got to work out whether you want to, how you want to do it, how complex you want to go, whether you want to do actual minutes and set the clock exactly. I've found that clocks aren't that accurate, even clocks in systems, whether they get set or not. And people arrive early, they arrive late. So if you want, say, let me just clear all these segments. I'm just double clicking, by the way. Right, so if I say Monday, and I want, if someone wants to, let me just say if I start Monday and I want it open at 8 o'clock, shut at 9, whatever it is, something unlocked between 8 and 9. Well, people, if they start work at 8, it's not good opening the door at 8 o'clock because they arrive before 8. You know, they might get there 5 to 10 to quarter to 20. It depends on who it is. your employee, whoever, if person turning up, he might get there an hour early. Yeah. So the last thing you want is for him to turn up at 8 and he can't get in. He's panicking because he's got to start work at 8. So basically, what you do is you go down. You'll go down to the nearest 15 minutes. Really, you know what I mean? Depends on your security. But for this, if you want top-notch security, you go and use a proprietary system. And if you want to be able to do something slightly different than the norm, off the wall, or you'll have to look back at all my videos if you know if you don't know what I'm talking about. But because basically most access control systems, it'll switch a relay on and off. I got more going on than that. I got a programmable option. Let me just quickly show you that. Actually, let's just close that a minute. Right, close that. Let's show you that. Why not show you that? Hang on. So we're going to a user control. Let's just find a user. Let's say Steve Wozniak. Right, so you've got Steve Wozniak's user record. Not really. Should have a dummy name really, but anyway, I'm sure he won't mind. Right. So for this token down here, this is this is a token that's programmed into the system, and its access is unrestricted, and its function is impulse 1. Now, so when you swipe a token, it'll switch the relay on. Yeah. So it switches a relay on. But if that's just the default operation, if you go into its restrictions, you can have a look at this function here. So you can impulse relay 2 for the egress time 2. Impulse relay 1 with anti-passback. Impulse relay 1 with a 30-second anti-passback. So if you don't know what that is, anyway, we don't want to go too much detail. So impulse relay 2 is anti-passback. Now impulse relay 1 with an extended egress time. Right, so that time I told you about, where it was, you got two options for the output time, disabled egress. So if you want to set that user for that, it'll use the extended egress time instead of the normal egress time. If you've got a disabled user in a wheelchair or something, or struggling to get through, blind, could be anything. And where you set that is on the user's profile down there. You can set address, email, website, gender. You just toggle these, look, male, female, not set. Departments, user stats, I don't even know what that is. What's that, user stats? Oh, date of birth, divert number, yeah. There's lots of stuff I programmed into this a long time ago. Disabled, you can choose what kind of disabilities they got, whether wheelchair bound, blind or hard of hearing. This automatically cranks them up. You've got risk level, so you can set, if you've got a new person you don't trust them or whatever, you can crank them up on the risk level. So let's go through them. So low level is security breach is very unlikely. This is going off the American DEFCON defense condition. 0 level, right? Risk level is disabled. Okay, so level 1 critical, security breach expected imminently. Yeah. Risk level 2 severe, security breach is highly likely. Substantial, number 3, security breach is a strong possibility. 4, moderate, security breach possible but not likely. And you got low, security breach is very unlikely. So obviously clever stuff can go on with the user, like for instance, if I was to say to the user, you're allowed into the canteen, the toilets, this place, but you're not allowed into the account room or the server room, right? The system will watch the activity of the users, basically. If it sees their number, they won't be allowed in. Say if Steve goes over to the server room, he's probably the better one to be going in there anyway. But say if he was just if he was cleaner or something, sweeping up, sweeping up. Yeah, if he was sweeping up, he won't want him going into the IT server room, basically. Yeah. So, but if he did swipe his card to try in it, if you say to him, "Don't go in there," you're not allowed in there. Don't go in there. You give him the old intro speech, and the system will log that he's tried to go in that door for whatever reason. He's used his fob. So what it'll do on this risk level, it'll crank him up a notch, and it'll put a report in. Basically, when you log on, it'll say you need to review this user. You know what I mean? So these are the kind of stuff I built in. Rather than reinvent a wheel for an access control system, there's a multitude of access controls out there, and the marketplace is crowded, right? But it's not crowded when it comes to, I don't say it's open source, but it will be open source. But I've got to be careful when I actually open source it, because some of the protocol, I might not be able to release the protocol, because people could interact with the system in a way, basically hack it. So you've got to be careful what bits you release. But anyway, the system is programmable. I can program things to happen, right? I can execute scripts as well. Yeah. So anyway, going back to the restrictions for the output here. Right, impulse. What else we got here? Conference mode, toggle. You can toggle a door on and off. You can assign a certain token that overrides a door, just toggles it open, and anyone else comes along, it just stays open until the guy who toggled it open toggles it off. Yeah. Or another person who's got a toggle on off token can toggle it back on. So you can switch cameras, you can do call reception. Now we also we could run a script as well. I don't want to go too much detail with this software because I've done it before, but anyway, needless to say, there's loads of different stuff you can do. Okay, so let's come out of that. Okay, we'll come out of that. Let's cut a bit. So going back to the time zone. Right, so we're on the time zone. So this is the way we're doing it at the minute. So you can have multiple segments, you even got holiday and event day and all sorts of stuff, yeah. Right, which overrides these days in the week, but you have to designate holidays. Anyway, going off on a tangent again. So there's no way, I don't think there's a way I can implement this functionality where you can have multiple segments in a day, you know. So, and neither would you want to. And if you want to, you use the main software and you save it. It sends the time zone. It overwrites the time zone. Let's come out of that. Right, let's close this down. So anyway, it overwrites the time zone.
Thank you for using UPass.
There's two ways to use it, you see. There's it with a software or as a standalone unit. I'm trying to make it work both ways. Let's get rid of that one a minute. I'm trying to make it work both ways. Let me just have a quick look at the old... yeah, just having a look at the old... let me just make sure the audio is it with a software or as a standalone unit. Right, okay. Right, we're back on here again. Yep, right. Yeah, so with the web server, it's hosting its own web page, so you've got to keep it light if you can. Keep it light, otherwise you use all your resources up. and before you know it, you'll be struggling to do your main task, like be an access control system, a reader, or whatever you want to program it to be. So let's cut into this and go over to the settings and your time zone. Don't know whether settings is a time zone or whether you adjust the settings. So what I've done over the last sort of 8 days, I've tidied up the tokens, sorted out this token bit here, got that working as I want, and I've also created this form, and this is for your settings for your time zone. Now I've only implemented the ability to adjust working hours. Yeah, that's it. Now you've got O2, which is working hours. Rather than you to select different ones at the minute, I think it's okay just to set one. That'll be it. And this default one will just activate relay 1, for instance. That's it. That's all it's going to do. So what I've done is I've created a table, and it imports from the ESP32 I put some default values in for now here. I haven't finished it off, but I've finished off the input method for the web server or the web interface. So you go into this page, it brings up whatever settings it's already set to. So these are just some default values. Okay. Now this bit at the bottom, so that's this table showing you what it's set to. You can't actually adjust any of this. You can't adjust any of that. That's just text or in a form. Now you got the bit down the bottom here, which is select times, so days of the week. It's a bit like a 7-day timer. If you go into electrical wholesale, you buy, say I want a DIN rail mount timer, or to switch a relay or light on, whatever you want to do. So basically, we've turned our ESP32 on this board into a fancy 7-day timer. Yeah, 7-day timer. So, but you program it from its own web API, which is pretty good. Yeah, you can do it with other timers now. There's different ways of doing it, Bluetooth, whatever, send it a message, I don't know. Anyway, this is the way we're going to do it, but rather than try to implement all those different segments, if you notice I've got an on at, off at, on say Sunday or Monday, on at 7:45, off at 8:15. So this here, these two, that is like a segment. It's a segment, an on and an off period. So it'll come on then and it'll switch off then. So imagine that on that I've showed you that earlier anyway. Right. So, and you've also got one more here, because normally you'd want to switch something on in the morning during a busy period. Have I froze? Yeah. Let me just unfreeze the camera. Hello everyone again. Yeah. Anyway. Right. Yeah, so you've got 2 segments of time, or 2 zones for the day. Okay. It made sense to make 2, because if you want more than 2, you have to go back to the main desktop software and use that instead. Okay. So this is just a way of us being able to set up. You get your controller, you plug it into 12 volts. Yeah. Anyway, you don't need download other software or anything. You take it out of the box from new, plug it in, and you connect to its web API, right, or web interface or web server, and you can get to your settings. You can join the network, and set a time zone. So we set a time zone. So if I go on time here, what I've done is created a. You select the hour and the minute. So say if I set, actually, that's days of the week. So you can either go Monday to Friday, Monday to Thursday, Monday to Saturday, Monday to Sunday, or 7 days, or choose individual day. Let's just choose Monday. So it's just Monday out. So at the minute it's on 7:45. So I'm going to change that to. Right, I'm going to say, let's say 11:15. So I want it to come on at 11:15, and I want it to go off at 11:30. Yeah. So it's gonna switch on at 11:15 for 15 minutes. Okay. Now you can do another one or leave it blank. I'll leave it blank. So just click save. Okay. And now that's saved it. It's refreshed the table, and it's just blanked these out. It blanks these out anyway. So see what you've done there. Look, 11:15 to 11:30, and it's saved that, but I haven't actually saved it yet. It's only updated the variables. It hasn't actually done anything with it. We've got to do that next. But if you want to edit that again, you can't just go to this one. I can't just go here and go put another time. Say if it's in the afternoon, 16:30 to 17:15. If I watch what happens here, if I click save. Actually, I've left it on Monday to Friday, so there's another. Gotcha. Got to be careful. Have I froze again? Right, froze again. Hang on. Right, we're back again. Gonna have to sort that out before the next live stream. I don't quite know what's going on there. Anyway, probably a crappy camera. I got some better cameras. Let's get a better camera on after. Right. Anyway, so you've got to do this as a whole. Okay. Now you can either I can either select Monday to Sunday. I click save without entering nothing, and it's blanked them all out. You see, blanked them all out. I can choose individual days if I want, but the easiest way is to do it like commercial timers do it, where you select how many days of the week you want. So if I want to do Monday to Thursday, alright, I'm going to set Monday to Thursday in one go, so I'm going to start at 7:45, so 7:45 in the morning. I want the automatic gate or the door to be unlocked so anyone can come in between 7:45 and 15:15. So if they're early or if they're late, any times before that they have to use their access control card, their token. Okay, now in the afternoons I want, you got to pay attention here, so 16, it's time to leave at 1700. And I'm going to let them have half an hour to clear out. So we've got 2 segments of time. Relay 1 will be unlocked between 7:45 and 8:15, Monday to Thursday, and it'll also be unlocked at 17 till 7:30. 5 o'clock till 5:30, 17:30. So if I click that now, it's going to update Monday to Thursday with those times. See how it's done that? Now, if I want to set Friday now, I want to set Friday, but I don't want to lose the rest. I've got to be very careful. I don't just leave that there and start putting in the date, because you're going to override that. So to override just the Friday, I'm going to select Friday. Now I want the same times for Friday morning, so I'll just put that in at 7:45. Okay, but we're an off at 8:15. Okay, We're gonna let the employees leave early on a Friday. Let's pretend we're a really good place to work for, and we're letting them go at 1:30. No, let's be more realistic. That's not probably, yeah. So we're gonna let them go at 1:45. Right. So we need to keep the door unlocked to about 2:15. 1:45. So half an hour. The door is unlocked or whatever. Yeah. So we've got Friday. We've already set Monday to Thursday. So if I hit save now, it's only going to adjust Friday. Let's see if it works. I don't know. Not tested it. Let's try it. Yeah. So we're okay. See that? And that would have updated it and saved it all in one. Now for Saturday, they might want to come and do some overtime. So let's choose Saturday. If they're crazy, they'll come and do some overtime. So Saturday, sometimes they want to start early and go. Let's say they're starting at 6:45 because they want to start and get back home, and that'll be open till 7:15. So 7:15 for late stragglers, and we're not going to persecute them too much. We're going to let them go at 12 o'clock till 12:30. Yeah. Okay. So we're just for Saturday. So that should just update Saturday and leave the rest where they are. Yeah. It's done it. Sunday, we're not doing anything on Sunday, so we leave it as it is. We're finished with this form now. That would have saved that. That would have saved that setting under working hours. Yeah. That's all it'll save it as, working hours. So you've got, if it's a standalone ESP32 device, you've got a single working hours entry you can work with, basically. Time zone. That's it. If you want to do multiple time zones and multiple segments, you go back to the UPass software. Okay. Let's just run the UPass software and set that time zone the same as we've just. I'll show you what
Welcome to UPass. Engine 22 is now online. Engine 23 is now online.
Let's just go, time zones. So you can add a new time zone, but we're working on the working hours one. So let's just open up the working hours one. Yeah. Can I shrink that down? Yeah. Let me just pull that out the way, move that out the way so we can see what's going on. Right. Oops, my Happy New Year's in the way now. Okay, let's shrink that Happy New Year out of the way. Okay. Right, so we've got our segment. Let's just cover that up. So we've got our. So let's make this working hour one. When we're setting the controller on directly as a standalone, it's only affecting that controller. Okay. Now if you want to do a global one, you do it from the main software here. But if we wanted just to represent these times on this system, we can do it. So let's just do it manually. So we want 7:45 till 8:15. That's that one there. And I'll tell you what, let's get rid of these. The easiest way is double click them and copy that. I should be able to put that one in there and drag it. Yeah, it's quite quick at doing this, but you do need a mouse. Yeah, so Friday, I think the Friday was the same, wasn't it? Yeah, so we've got Monday to Friday, 7:45 to 8:15. So that covers. Hang on, no, that's 3/4 of an hour. That's it. You can see how to adjust it anyway. Everyone has their own way of adjusting these things. I've seen all sorts different access controls do it in different ways. So we've got our first segments in the morning to be open Monday to Friday, and that corresponds to that. Now we can do the 5 o'clock till 1:30. So we just click on here. Now we've got half an hour segment. Actually, that's already right. So 5 o'clock. So I've got the green is at PM, so 5 PM. Done it slightly different. I've done it on 24-hour here. This one I've done it as AM PM. It's just so they, excuse me, it's just so they all line up really. So you have to, translate AM to PM. But I'm not sure if that one does it. That's a duration, so that doesn't show you. You alright? How you doing? Alright. Yeah. Mrs. has come down. Alright. Yeah, so we put this segment in there at 5 o'clock for half an hour. And we can go down and do the same here. Now, Friday, let's do Monday's one, yeah. So it's easy like that. And Friday we finish it still half an hour, but 13:45. So I'll put it in. You can either go to the 1 o'clock bit. That's it. 13:45 till 2:15. So you go like that. That's it. So that's 13:45 till 2:15. Right, Saturday one. 6:45, so that's half an hour. So let's go Saturday. Okay, let's pull that over there. So 6:45 till 7:15. That's taken care of. Now you're going to go at 12 till past. So you want a full hour, well, half an hour segment there. There it is. 12 o'clock till past. So just to show you. Saturday. Hang on. We've done Saturday. Yeah, nothing on Sunday. Nothing on holiday or event day. So, actually, let's just save that. So that's saved out to the database and also broadcast it over to the controller. There's you got a bleep response back from controller. Probably only got one response back. Let's just save it again. I've got one of the controllers in debug mode, so it's got serial prints in it. There we've got two, so it will miss a packet with those in. But if you get two bleeps back, it means it's acknowledging that it's received it. But when you take the debug mode off, it does it anyway. It's okay. Right, so this pattern here is the same as this pattern here. Exactly the same, and it uses the same well, it won't. I haven't used it yet. I haven't done it yet, but it's going to use the same storage method. Exactly, it's going to store it in the same place on the controller, but only for working hours. O2 working hours. There, O2 working hours. So from the web interface, you can't access. Let's close that. Let's just open up that. I'll just show you it's saved it. So click on working hours. You can see it's saved all the settings. That's saved in the database locally. Anyway, so you don't get from the main software. You get multiple time zones. Create new if you want. Okay, now we can create a new one. Let's just create a new one. I call new one. Right, that's what it's called. It's called the new one. So you've got a new one, so if you click on that, you're going to open a blank one up. And it's got 03 new one. Just something to be aware of as well. Let's just close that one up. At no time, if I open that no time, it's going to show you a blank field. Now you can put segments in here, right, but watch when you save it. Default time zones cannot be changed. Yeah. So it's a default, it'll let you do that, but you won't be able to save it. So if you open it again, it's blank. Yeah. So at no time, if you want to select a time zone, but swap it to at no time do anything, that's what you go to, a blank one. Now unrestricted, you know what that's going to be. That's going to be a full-on time zone. Everything allowed. All the time, all day, every day. Yeah, you can't adjust this. You probably can actually, but you try and save it. Default time zones cannot be changed. Okay, so this is pretty much industry standard when it comes to time zones. They always have at no time where nothing is set, and all day, every day, all the time is like unrestricted. And the working hours they make adjustable. They could it probably default to being working hours, which will normally be 8 till 5 o'clock every day, really, depending on what you want. So we've overridden our working hours one with the segments of. Let me just go back. Let's just minimise this a second. Yeah, let's get rid of that over there. Yeah, so we've going back to implementing on an Esp32 web server. We can't implement all that. We probably can if that's all we wanted to do, but we want to keep our resources for other stuff. Yeah. So we don't want to clog up the system with all that. So we're just going to utilise working hours as a single time zone, and that's it. For now. There might be two. Because we're working, if we go back to the controls, we're working with two relays. Even though on board is only one, but the design has got two open collector outputs, which are Darlington driver, going out to a spare terminal, which you could wire in two more relays, so you could have three. So this ought to implement three really at some point, but I'm not that bothered because my original controller has got two relays built on, and we're keeping with that regime, if you know what I mean. So this is why we're implementing just the single working hours time zone. Now the controller, if you're working either network or the main software, it will have the ability to have all the other time zones. It will store them. So, I mean, maybe I'll do. Let me just close this down. Maybe at some point.
Thank you for using UPass.
At the minute, I'm happy just to include the ability as a standalone to set a time zone. Yeah, now, I could have a drop-down list like this here, where you select any time zones you got and add a new time zone, but I don't want to implement the full system, if you know what I mean. If you want to use that, just download the software. The main software is free. Use the main software and literally just use it like that. Let me just check if there's anyone about. Nobody about as normal. No problem. I don't know. Anyway, so back to this. So we've implemented to be able to edit the built-in working hours time zone. Yeah, that's the only one. You can't edit time zone 1, which is no access, so all off. You can't edit 01, which is everything's already on. You can select it, but there'll be no point really at the minute. No point. But yeah. So basically, we're trying to keep this web API, web interface, with just the minimal amount. We don't want to use all our memory on our ESP32. So we've got that. We've got a working system front end. Let's call it a front end within the ESP itself. We've also got the other one. This is the full-blown software. Okay. So what we need to do at some point. This is the progress that we've got since last week. Okay. Although this project's been running for 10 years. Okay. So we can toggle one on, toggle it off, impulse it. Now we need to maybe have in this control a little drop down box, a button to say switch on, follow the time zone, select the time zone basically. I don't know whether to put it on this page or somewhere else. I don't even know where the time zone should go in settings. don't know. So, I suppose it is a setting because you're setting the time zone. Now, you could have a button here to say toggle relay 1, select from relay 1. Let me just refer back to the software actually. Just gonna have a look at a text message. I don't know who that is. Have a look. That's the daughter. Okay. Right. Yeah, so we've implemented the front end. Now we've got to turn this into a function in the controller that can turn this into bytes to store. The way the controller works, each 15-minute period, it's the way I've done it. I don't know why I've done it. I've done it in a certain way because I had ideas of I wanted the timer to be multifunctional, not just switch a relay on, to be able to do other stuff. So what I've done, it follows a bit pattern. The memory does. It stores it as a byte, but each byte is basically acting as a bit. You've got 8 bits in the byte, and so each byte can store 8 15-minute periods. Yeah. So there's an array of bytes for all of this. Actually, there's 2 extras. There's one for event, public holiday or holidays, and there's one for event day. We're not going to use them on this particular bit. That's used from the main software. So we're storing over top of where the main software stores them. The same memory location for working hours. It's stored in the same place. Yeah, it's a fixed location. So, for instance, on Sunday, all day Sunday, if you calculate it, let's bring a calculator up. Hang on. Calculator. Right, let's just calculate it. Yeah. So let's bring the calculator up. So every hour let's do it at 15 minutes. So 8 bits divided by 15 equals, no, it's not the way to do it. Right, so 15 times 8. No, that's not the way to do it. My maths is never brilliant, sorry. Anyway, so 8 times 15 minutes. So 15 times 8. Right, so 1 byte stores 120 minutes. Yeah, 120 minutes of Sunday or whatever. So if you let's do 24 hours divided by 15 minutes. That's no good to us, is it? Hang on. See what? I didn't do good at maths. My brain works in a different way. I can't be taught maths in the same way as the majority. So my brain works different. Anyway, so for every byte, it might be better to look at the program actually where I've done this. Do we want to go down that route? I'm not sure if we're going to go down that route now. Well, basically, we need to find out how many. We've got 107 bytes, I think. No, I can't remember now. We programmed this a long time ago. So we got 8 bits to do. It's 120 minutes. No, I don't know. I got confused. Anyway, don't bring the calculator out. Do not bring the calculator out. Well, basically, in memory, if I take a byte, right? So we've got 8 bits in the byte. Each bit can store 15 minutes. So you start from a certain address and you work up, and you can, whichever bit is on in a certain position in the array, which is stored on a memory, EEPROM or whatever. Whichever bit is not a 0 or a 1, if it's on a 1, then it means it's the start of a trigger, or it's a trigger. Yeah. And every 15-minute period, say if I've got half an hour going, I'd see two ones. I'd see a load of zeros where it's off, and I see a 1 where it's on. Okay. So it's checking that. It's just instead of having a byte per 15-minute period, it tries to be efficient. It stores 8 15-minute periods, or 8 lots of time segment in a byte. So for a day, I mean, you can work it out. So let's find out. So let's find out exactly. So we've got 15 minutes is 1 byte. So if you times it by 8, you get 120. So that's 120 15 minutes. So if you divide that by 60, you get 2 hours worth. So 1 byte can store 2 hours worth of 15 minutes segments, or yeah. So it's quite efficient. You can cover a whole 2-hour period. Yeah. And you can see that in the software. Let's run up the software, and I'll show you that in the software just to get it round, because I've got to get my head around it straight as well.
Welcome to UPass.
Right.
Engine 22 is now online. Engine 23 is now online.
So I'll go on to here. Alright, let's just bring that down there. Let's get that out of the way, haven't it? Right, so your segments here. Say if I just work on Sunday. Let's just do Sunday, right? So if I go on Sunday and I click a segment, that's going to put a 1 hour segment in, yeah. Well, let's use this. So we've got 1 to 8. We'll use that as we'll represent our bits. So we've got 1 there. Let's put 1 in there, and 1 there. So 1, yeah. 1, 2. So we've got 8 bits, right? So these bits at the minute, they're representing half an hour each. If you look there, it's got half an hour duration. Okay. Now if I knock that down, or just use the wheel. Right, so you can only manipulate 15 minutes at a time in a segment. It won't go lower. See that? You can't go lower, look. See, go up. You can't go lower. Because that 15-minute segment is represented in the memory as a bit, 1 bit in a byte. Yeah? So it's a bit. So to represent all that there, right, now if I in an hour, hang on, so if I put that there and put that there, right, this, if I click save, it'll consolidate them into an hour if they're next to each other. Now you see for the hour there, don't know if you can see this by the way, but for the hour there, I've got 4 segments of 15 minutes. That's for the hour. So now each byte, there's no compression done on this either. There's no compression or anything like that. So basically, with these segments, I'm representing. Yeah, I've got 8 segments of 15 minutes, and it's covering 2 hours. Yeah. So I can represent. Now what the controller does is look at this, it'll go, if I'm due to be on, it'll actually give an on signal. It'll output an on signal. and if it's due to be off, it'll output an off signal. Now it looks at the timer. The clock it looks at every 15 minutes, from starting from 0 to quarter past, half past, quarter to. Now this is just a way of programming it without having to program every single minute. So imagine if you had to have a segment for every minute of every day, and you'd lose a lot more memory. At the minute I use something like 107 bytes for the whole segment. 107 bytes to represent the whole of this, including a holiday and an event day. Yeah? So your total segments for a day that's 8. Let's just put another one in there. Let's call it that. Let's put another one. Right. So for a day, a complete day, you can so you've got 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bytes to cover the whole day of 15-minute periods. Anywhere in the whole day, you're on to, how many did I say? 6, 12 bytes. Yeah, 12 bytes will store the whole day. So if you go times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 12, 24, 48, 36, 40. Anyway, maths again. Get the calculator back up. Where's it gone? Okay, calculator back up. So we want to calculate. It's 107, I know it is, but anyway, we'll calculate it. So we've got 12 bytes times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 12 times 9 equals 108 bytes actually. Yeah, because I'm doing base 0, so we're going 0 to 107. Yeah, starting. So for 108 bytes, I can represent a whole week and a spare 12-hour period and 24-hour period and a spare holiday and event day. I thought I'll go one extra. Most of them, they implement a public holiday to override existing days. I thought I'd go one better and have an event day as well. So if you don't know what event day and public holiday, it's basically a way of overriding. Say if it's Christmas, or New Year, or holiday between the two. Normally you'd have a door opening, say on a Tuesday, it'd be open in the morning. But if nobody's there, if you've closed the building down, and the main entrance gate, you don't want it to be opening. So basically, you use the holiday here to override it. Yeah. Now, the holiday, you can click in a holiday and you can say, actually, it's a holiday. If you've got a holiday, you don't need to put anything in. It needs to be blank, but you need to put a date in. You need to put a date in the system so it can override a public holiday on a certain date. It's got the ability. It turns a 7-day timer into an annual timer where you can put dates and times into the future. But you might want to override if it's a holiday, or if it's an event day, you might want to keep a door open. Say if you've got main entrance gate shut and you've got a public gathering of some sort. If you want to, they haven't got tokens, they can't get in. You've got an open day. You just click, put your segment in, whatever you want it. For as long as you want, all day, all evening, whatever. And what that'll do is it'll unlock the door if you selected event day. You might be wondering where that's done. I can't remember now, but anyway, it is. Oh yeah, you have to set up an event day, a public holiday. I've got a segment for all that. Anyway, I might show you that in a minute. I might not. I don't know. So we're not on this. Going back to, so we've got 108 bytes. 108 bytes for each. So in here, you've actually we're going to store 108 bytes even though we're not using holiday and event day. So really you could really take off minus 24. So it's 84 bytes to store a full week of 15-minute periods or segments. So that's going to just store it in the usual place where the main software stores it, but it only allows you to select it. Anyway, let's close that down. Let's close this down. Tell you what, before I close that down, shall I just see if we can find out where the public holiday is implemented? It's on a timer. So you go onto your timer. Let's just do this in a different way. So you go onto your timers. Here you've got a timer for the configuration. Now we haven't got timer 1, we haven't got timer 2, so we'd have to set has timer. No, we won't do that there. So I've got a segment here called, have I got timer? Public holidays. No, not on this one. Right, if we go, the way UPass works, it's got configuration and settings. Now if I click on settings, it's going to show you the settings for whatever's configured. Yeah. Now I haven't configured timer for this one, so it's not going to give you the group of params for timer. Yeah. So you go back to here, you go and enable your timers. So I'm going to save timer 1 on. Yeah. Right, so I've enabled timers for relay 1. So now you've got a new menu or group of params called timer 1. So I can click on timer 1. Let's just bring that up the screen. So timer 1, oh, just give me a second, let me have an interlude. Back in a second. Alright, we're back. Okay, let's just have a quick look down here. Yeah, we're back. Right. So going back to this, you got your timer 1's group of params that's set up. Now these group of params are brilliant in themselves, right? It's an ingenious way of adding params to your system. All these are like it represents part of the data in the database. Anyway, that's a whole story for another day. So your time zone for timer 1, this is how you'd select it. You'd just go, you can open your time zones to edit, or you can just switch to one of them. So let's say working hours. Click on that. Okay, so I've changed the time zone 1 to work at working hours. Now it has an on action and an on number and an off action. So the defaults to being latch the relay on. The relay number is 1, and you've got an off action of unlatch the relay and number 1. Now you might say, what are these actions? Well, let's have a look. I can't remember. Let's go back to nothing. So default none, no action at all. Impulse relay, latch relay, toggle relay, unlatch relay, in conference, ignore tokens, switch camera, call reception, and back to none. Right, so there's also implemented runner script, but we won't go down there. So we'll go back to default / relay here, so we haven't changed it. So that's just a way of telling the system what you want it to do. That's implemented on this side of the software, the main software. All this goes back to the main software as well. Now, what I'll have to do in the main settings, this is controller based settings, so I'll just shut them down. Now you've got here main UPass software settings, so we'd go in here. Now in here we've got, use the same parameters again, but not for the engines, for the software. So you can see we've got a segment called public holidays here. Yeah. There's no parameter for it, but we can open public holidays. Now I haven't done this for years. Now it's showing me no public holidays. Yeah. So this has yet to be finished, polished off, let's say. So I click on this one, new public holiday. Add a new this is where it might fail because I haven't tried it for ages. Public holiday, let's call it New Year's Day. Okay. Right, I want you to select a date, yeah, for New Year's Day. So let's just select a date. The first, oh hang on. $2024. Alright, January. So I can't see some of the writing on it. Right, so you want January the 1st. What's that doing down there? 1st of February. No, that's not right. Oh, it's alright. I'm not seeing some of the writing's weird. I'm gonna have to check that out. Oh, gone on to February. Right, hang on. See, I can't see the numbers. Don't know what that is. Anyway, so 1st of the 1st, 24. So it's set a public holiday. Yes. Okay. So I've got implemented. This is one of my earlier versions of the rack. I haven't really done much with the public holidays, but it has implemented. It does work. So we've got entry for. What happens if you double click it? Nothing. You can actually edit it or cut it or add a new one. So this is where you add your public holidays, right? And you come out of there, and if I go back into public holidays, there it is again. Yeah, okay. And you also got one for event day. There it is, event day. There's no parameter for it, so you can also create an event day. Yeah, same again. Right, event day. Let's call this one UPass live stream. Okay, UPass live stream, and we're going to make that
running 9.
Alright, we're going to make that today. Okay, we're doing a select public holiday date. So there's it's using a copy of the string. It should be saying event day. So there's a little bit of a note I need to put in about that. So if I want to do a note, this is how I do a note, a bug fix, or a note to oneself. I go on to a tool I created that's free, open to the public on GitHub. Hopefully it'll load up. Yeah, it is loading up now. It's called Event Log. Anyone watching this who would like to use it, feel free.
Running 9.
Alright, so this is the way I record anything that needs to happen. So I'll go on to bug fix, I'll right click, I'll select no limit and click refresh, and I've got a system. Now it's a problem with the UPass system bug. It's not really a bug, but this is where I list my stuff. So I go into it, I add a note, and I'm going to select right, we're going to select right, So UPass event day. Hang on. Event day. Event day shows right, select public holiday instead of event day. So fix when you have time. Yeah, never. Okay. Right, so save that. I'll give myself a time period. It'll default to 7 days in the future. I'm not that fussed about fixing that quickly, as long as it reminds me at some point. So I'll just give it a couple of months. Click save. Target user, target source. Can't choose that. Right, so click save. Okay, so we've got a new entry. It's telling me I got a message. Right, so now the system bug, we've got 10 notes attached to it, and there is event day shows public holiday instead of event day. You double click it, you can open it up. The event status is you can change the status if you finish with it or actioned it. You can set that. Anyway, we're going off on another tangent. Right, so that's buy me a coffee on Patreon if you want to use this for whatever reason. Anyway, that's how I keep track of my system, my things. But if you go on, you're on reminders at the minute. Anyway, we're going off on another tangent. So this will tell you what's coming up based on this number of days. Yeah, I haven't got nothing coming up. Or you can do by new. You can see all the events, no limit, all records. I haven't got much in here at the minute for some reason. Oh, all users. Yeah, by new. No limit. Oh, I'm on bug fix. See, I've limited the whole list down to bug fix now. If I can just refresh that. Right, and it's showing me every entry in the database now. And you got all this implementation anyway. Yeah, forget about that. That's another project. Multi-user, whatever you want to do, it reminds you of something that's going to happen. Anyway, let's close that down. So yeah. Anyway, so we select that and click OK. We've got our new event day live stream. Okay. So going back to this, where do we use that? So that public holiday, we've set it in the software, but have we done anything with it? I'm not sure if that does that get broadcast? Let me just see if there's anything being broadcast. What I'll do is I'll just pull that out of the way a minute. Close that down. Let's just watch out for the broadcast here. So edit it. Oh, that's the new one. What's that one? Enter public holiday name. Don't know what that is. Oh, I think that's rename. So I come out of there. Now I don't know how I implement that now. Timer. Or is it done automatic? I forget how I do that now. Right. Let's go back to this one here. Or is there another one here? Hang on, there's no public holiday for that. No, so you put your public holidays in. So you go back to your controllers. Oh, no, sorry, you just do it off a time zone. Sorry, you don't enable it, I don't think. Let me have a look. I just can't remember. So I go back to timer 1. Right, so you got your on and off actions. I think it just implements it, you know. So when you go on to timer, hang on, let's just shrink that a minute. Oh, I've minimised it. Come back up again. Doing the wrong thing here. Right. So go back onto this time zone. So as soon as you go on to working hours and you click save, it'll send all that stuff with it. Yeah. So it's going to send the public holiday. I'm not quite. I'm gonna have to research that because it's been that long since I did it. But basically, it won't. If it sees a public holiday, it won't. It must send the public holiday over there somehow. I'm gonna have to check that out. Just trying to think where I set that now. I can't remember. It's been a while. Right, let's have a look. Anyway, going off on a bit of a tangent here. So your public holidays, your timers, right? So you got your timers. Can't do anything from there. You can set your public holidays and your event days. You got your timer 1. There's no public holiday. You can't do anything from in there. Alt action. So I think it's just built in. As soon as you go onto software, timer 1. Hang on. Your main software has got different kind of timers. You can do stuff like run a script off a timer, run type, yeah. There's stuff you can do. And they're both enabled, timer 1 and timer 2 enabled. Are they? Let's have a look down here, timers. Timer 1, timer 2, I think that's for the software, yeah. Yeah, timer 1, play war games. Yeah, I've got some tests going on in here, yeah. Run type, right, okay. So your public holidays, so when you create a public holiday, it must be set to go over to it, but I'm going to have a look at that. So we need to do a bit more on that. Let's just pop up that. We need to check keeps going over to the other screen, this does, right. So you need to add a new entry under roadmap, not roadmap, bug fix. Right, under system bugs, I need to have a new note. Check out stroke finish of public holidays and event days. I'll have to check that. I know I got it implemented in the controller, but I'm not sure how you send it over there. I'll have to check that. Right, okay. Right. So anyway, if you want to use this event horizon for keeping track of anything, your projects or whatever, because I've got multiple projects here. Look, the engine, the system, even have event horizon itself, and you've got multiple, implement, marketing, sales, business, whatever you want. It's fully programmable. This, but raise a ticket if you want. Raise a ticket. Say hi to watchers. Okay, say hi to watchers today, now, in an hour. Okay, close, save. Say hi to the watchers, but there's no watchers. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, there was a watcher. Nobody would care to leave a comment though, or today, a top chat. Now. Okay, right. Okay, so back out of this. Let's limit the data. Right. Okay. So where did I get to? It's time to finish off this Christmas holiday, stroke, whatever, live stream. So let's close that down. We finished that today.
Thank you for using UPass.
So this is our progress we've done. How long have we been going for? 1 hour 40. That's still supposed to be short, this was. Right. So we've got our web API for this. So we've got to convert, do the function in the Visual Studio Code to... We've already got functions in place for saving it from the main software, but we need a function to convert this into the bytes, the bits and then the bytes to switch stuff on and off. I've done it, instead of segments, it's doing it via time. So I need to look at the times and then save them, convert them into the right locations in memory for that time. So it's quite complicated, but the main software does it, sends the location where it needs to store it, so it does it, basically does it for you, and the controller is just a slave, does what it's told. Now, can I use the same idea? Probably, yeah. So I need a little algorithm to turn this data into the bits to be stored. Yeah. Anyway, it shouldn't be too difficult, but that's what we'll do on the next one. Anyway, we're going to leave it for now for that, and we're going to leave it, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to get some lunch now and go doctors, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye bye.